So when we were talking about all of the things we wanted to do when we can turn 22, I really couldn't think of anything because I wanted to go for a PhD or a master's degree, and the only thing I could think of that I would want to do when I turn 22 is computer programming. Now, most of you might know I'm going to do a major in physics, and you might think, well, how do you do a major in physics and then also become a computer programmer? Well, a computer programmer does stuff in science. So as long as you have a science degree, or as long as you have a high school education, really, but a science degree is really what will give you something good, or in-depth knowledge and experience with coding language, with the primary ones being Python and C#. These are the two biggest coding languages right now. If you know them, you'll know any situation you need. You need critical thinking skills. You also need a lot of organization and patience because there's going to be a lot of common mistakes that you see that most people don't. Um, and it's going to take a lot of patience to be like, well, this is obvious, but you got to help them anyways because that's your job. Um, this is a salary for a given um, programmer by user experience. Now, this is done by a study of, I think, about 100 people or somewhere around there. It's done on a base 10 scale. So below a year, you have about $58,000 in salary. But once you get that first year, you get a big boost in like what the average salary is. It's about 64,000. I would say about 65. And then as you get more and more experience, you obviously can get a salary of over $120,000, which is a lot of money. But I don't know about 20 plus years. That's like, in the long run. Now, my house and utilities expenses are I want to have an apartment in Huntsville, and so that's about $889 a month. Utilities cost around $200, and then I want to have some really fast internet, so 100 megabytes per second, unlimited data cap, with Netflix and Hulu, because I'm not going to watch TV. I'm probably just going to watch Netflix and Hulu and YouTube, which will be $70 a month. Verizon's unlimited plan for my phone is about $70 a month, so that'll bring my total up to $1,229 a month. Uh, Food insurance, travel, etc. I already have a car, so other than that, oil changes and regular fixes paid off for. So I thought that this was like, you know, if I have any extra money, I'll use it to pay off my car, or I'll use it to change my oil, add an addition to my car, maybe get a new radio. Um, if I would say if gas is about $2.20, I want to have 50 gallons aside every day. Not every day, every month. Um, because I think I want to walk wherever I can, so I'll put up about aside $110 for that. The average cost of food monthly for one person is about $350. Um, and since I don't buy a lot of clothes, I think I think I have a lot of clothes already. I think I only spend like $20 a month on clothes. Car insurance for someone my age is around $936, and health insurance about $488. This brings a total of $3,133 a month. Now, I like to play video games, so I'm always going to put $60 aside a month, which is about the price of a new game. And I'm probably going to put $200 aside to go eat. So that brings a monthly cost of $3,398. This means an excess of $2,207. And then I would probably put 10% of that into a trickle fund for retirement, which, if you don't know what a trickle fund is where you put your money into stocks, and then it buys more bonds for you. So let's say the bond is $1, and you put in $1. Well, once that bond goes up $2, you now have two bonds because it automatically puts it in, or I guess it is a trickle fund. It goes up. And so that brings my total of excess money for the month, $1,987. Now, I did. I talked to somebody who I know, who is a who does programming, and I asked him a few questions. I'm gonna put these on the back of the handout. Um, First question I asked is if I had permission to record. He said yes. Um, I asked, "What is your name? Where are you from?" I'm gonna say his name is Mickey, and he lives in the Chicago suburbs. I asked him what company he works for. He said IntelliSource Solutions, a print design and production company. His exact job is the director of technology, but also work as an operations manager for our company. I have backgrounds not in tech and coding only, but also in manufacturing and mechanical engineering. He got a bachelor's in computer information systems, focusing on programming. Outside of traditional schooling, I have around a dozen certifications related to tech industry and a few related to print/design industry. He has about 7 to 8 years of professional experience, but he has tech jobs prior. They're more about supporting roles or hobby level gigs, in my opinion, so I don't count them. Like fixing friends and family computers and working at my high school when I attended, that sort of thing. He's currently 30, so for at least 23 years, he has been dabbling with tech. I asked him, what does a normal day of work look like? He says, my day consists of first thing in the morning checking for emergencies, whether they be for my managers and staff or for my clients, or even from software monitoring my company infrastructure or critical applications. I am always on call and on alert for any issues or messages. I work 24/7 technically and am always available. Then, if no emergencies, I dedicate my time to development and working with developers, teams, or other directors and leaderships as needed. I might spend time working out details of new revenue streams, planning implementation of changes, and distributing work to my direct reports, meeting with those who report to me to discuss projects, problems, or anything they need, or even resolving reported issues with code or functionality of one of our custom applications and my teams need a hand. My duties vary wildly on a day to day basis. For instance, lately I've been planning and working with vendors and staff to plan to move my facility. That has taken more time than worrying about, say, an issue with one of our websites. Um, his yearly salary is $125,000 a year at only 7 to 8 years, but he is a senior executive in his company, so that would make sense. Um, he says that I asked him about the coronavirus fiasco and if he filed for unemployment. He says, no, I didn't file for unemployment, but due to the business impact, I have volunteered a $30K pay cut during this time to cover paying some of our employees who could not afford it if we had to lay them off. Taking the cut meant they could keep working and earning for their families in the interim without the business itself absorbing the full costs and being impacted further. I did shorten my time spent working and I'm able to work from home in many instances. And that's basically all I have. If you guys would like to see the full interview, or read it, just ask me, email you the handout. I'm only going to give it to Mr. Griffin. Mr. Griffin, I think it's a great read. This guy has a lot of experience in the field, and that is all.